Hi, honey.
Hey, Mor. How we doing?
Uh, Sorry,
How we doing?
I'm doing good. I think I wanted to give like a formal introduction. Would you mind?
Sure, please. Bechavod.
Uh, okay. If whoever's listening, welcome to Ish, podcast for difficult-ish people, for people who seem to always go against the grain a little bit, or just a little bit enough to people like raise their eyes and say like, "What?" And you're like, I'm just living my life, man, right? That's how we kind of talked about it. We're
Yeah,
just living our lives and living our truth. But if you
yeah.
find us difficult-ish, that's your problem.
I just got a comment. One of my colleagues, like I responded to an email yesterday about something, and I was trying to push something along because, like let's get it wrapped up. And then he's like, "Wow, like you were really ballsy with that." And I was like, "I was just trying to get something. I wasn't trying to like be difficult or like trying to." It's so funny.
Yeah, I hate the bossy. No, I don't know if you noticed, but bossy is mostly used to describe women.
Yeah,
And when they're being like not doing like being nice and sweet and kind, they're
yeah,
you're kind of being
yeah.
authoritative,
Yeah. And
but
it's
in the
like
wrong
also,
way.
yeah. And like the fact is it's in all of our best interests for us to close this and not let it drag
Mm-hmm.
on forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like me saying like, hey, like what's going on? Let's get it done. Like everybody is on the same page that we want it done, right? Otherwise we're wasting our time. And somehow it's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, wow. Or you were like really aggressive and like literally was not.
Yeah, not. And if I was, good, because someone needs to be.
Cause like we need to get it done.
Yeah, yeah.
I,
I just
I
had a, I just had actually a conversation. I met a new mom this week. I took my Leah, my oldest, to like a play day with a friend from her school, and we met at like a trampoline park, kind of adventure park kind of place. So the girls went on to play, and I talked to her, and I like to ask, what do you do? Do you work for a living? Do you do or to like yeah? Do you work for a living? And if you, what do you do? And because I like to make the distinction of like mostly all women work in some capacity, right? You just don't always get paid. So she said that she's actually started her own business as well, and she's been before that she was in politics and she was a campaign manager and whatnot. And I won't for like mayoral uh, races. And she says, "Yeah, I just got tired of working for people who got upset with me for trying to get stuff done, and I want to just get stuff done. And if you want me," she said, like, if you want me to take that wall down, and I'll take it down within 5 hours. Just don't complain or tell me that I took it down wrong, right? Just let me do my job the way I want to do it." And I completely feel that.
Yeah.
And
What is that?
what is what?
Like, what is that feedback?
Like, what did you did it wrong?
Yeah. Like, where does it come from?
People, you're asking me. People have a set
Yeah.
expectation of how things need to be done, or people who don't like the way you do it because it doesn't like sit right with them in some way. It makes them uncomfortable in some way, and not necessarily in a way that's it just makes them uncomfortable. I don't think it makes not that it's dangerous or like harmful. It's just like
Mhm.
not the way you would do it, or maybe because I think maybe it's kind of like a trepidation of sorts. Like, oh, she got it done in 5 hours. Something would have taken me 5 weeks,
Mhm.
and feeling a little bit inadequate about that.
Mhm.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of it's projection. Um, I mean, that's just another way of what you said. Like, I'm not comfortable, and I don't have the capacity to hold space for myself and my discomfort. So I'm just gonna throw it back at you.
I've been coming to realize that I have this. I've been coming to realize, or maybe I always thought this, but I'm like articulating this now. most of people's reaction and the way they work and move in the world, talk about other people, is it's about their insecurities and their projection, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not responding to me, you're responding to yourself, responding to
Yep.
yourself. You're just too self-conscious, self-aware, or not aware actually, feeling insecure. And to make yourself feel better, bigger, stronger, you have to put someone else down. And I'm not willing to be in that position anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everything is a mirror. Everything. And everyone is a mirror. And some of us have the esteemed privilege to be a bigger mirror. And for me, the work is to own the fact that all I'm doing is reflecting instead of taking it personally when somebody gives me feedback. Because sometimes the feedback is just like an example. I think of an example right now, but like where if I say something and someone's like, "Oh, you're so whatever,"
You're so difficult.
you're so difficult, and it's like, okay,
I'm not being difficult. I'm not difficult. I'm
or
saying it the
like,
way.
yeah, or sometimes it's okay, I'm being difficult, and like sometimes that's enough, but like a lot of times it's just like a mirror. Like this is a good example. I was on a meeting, met with an agency because I work with a lot of content creators, and so I met with an agency to like see if we can like do some collaborations. And within 5 seconds, he was like attacking us with questions, right? Like we want to protect our like clients, and like there are a lot of sharks in this industry, and everybody wants to take advantage, and everyone wants a piece of the pie, and da da da. So we just want to make sure that like you guys are legit, and like you're not gonna rip anyone off. And I'm like, do you want me to hold a mirror? Is that why you're so, and like the questions were just like coming. He didn't even know what he was asking himself, and he wasn't even listening to the answers that I was telling him. So like in that situation, I just like was like okay, and like took everything that he said, but like I didn't take it personally. And then at the end, like he started realizing that he does want, like, because of the way that I just kind of like handled it.
So, wait, so you came as a client to talk to someone who you might want to work for? Or who is the
No,
client in this
I came
situation?
as we both have similar clients. So I came to like see if we can do some partnership together. And he's like, I don't want you to take advantage of my clients. And then I'm like, maybe I don't want you to take it,
You
like,
take advantage of my.
that kind of thing. Does that make sense? Clear?
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
like by saying how much like I don't want you to take advantage of my clients. He's basically he's saying out loud, and what I hear is,
Yeah.
I want to take advantage of your clients, and I don't want you to see me doing that. Like that's what I hear when people speak that way.
And I think it's important for people who hold those kinds of mirrors up to people to be really very, very aware. It's like, are they talking about you or are they talking about themselves? And a lot of times it's a little bit of both, but sometimes it's like 5% you and 95% them.
You know, I want to push. I don't disagree, but I want
Yeah.
to push on the what's it called, on the mirror size.
Eyes of the mirror?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
size of the mirror, or whether even we should be a mirror to others. Like, do you? And I'm not saying I disagree with them being a little bit of a devil's advocate here. Like, why is it up to us to hold that mirror to them, or maybe it's just like, why am I in charge of holding the mirror up to someone who is that way? That's how I want to ask it.
It's a good question. And I think I ask that question all the time because I'm like, what am I doing? I don't want to be doing this. I'm going to answer the question for myself.
Sure.
When I find myself in the situation, that's where I am. I don't seek it out.
Intentionally, at least.
No, but you're in this conversation, and what are you going to do? Get offended?
No, that's a good question. Like,
You know what I mean? But yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you about like what's my job? What is my job?
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody comes at me guns blazing,
In the
what
way,
do I
it's a
do?
little, maybe it's like I was gonna even push back. I was saying it's my job. It's not really our job, and maybe putting a mirror, it's a hard one for me. Um, is a way of being more passive in that situation and
Yeah,
not doing a job.
yeah,
Because a job would be like talking back to them and saying, well, you're wrong, and why are you talking to me like this, and
yeah,
why are you bringing this up right now, and like
yeah,
actively participating in this cycle that's going through their head, as opposed to saying, this is on you, man. If you want to have this invisible conversation with yourself, go ahead. I'm just going to sit here and decide what to eat for lunch later. And but look, I also think there's a, even, or I think maybe to be even more difficult, I can say, you know what, this conversation doesn't work for me. I would maybe at some point need to stop and say, it seems like this is not working, and how about I stop this now, and perhaps we don't have to collaborate together anymore, and bye bye. I think that's the next step for me when in these situations. Like that's the step I'm right now feeling comfortable doing more and more so. In my early 20s and especially in my teens, in my teens I was all about pleasing, right? Early 20s I was pleasing, but also like how can I help you change it, and like taking on like the educator and the more. I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't have to anymore, and this is not on me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's, I think, one of the biggest reasons why I left teaching, because of that responsibility of like always
Mm.
educating. And like,
And
especially people ask, right? Like advice all the time. People ask advice about what to do with their, I mean, now I get all kinds of questions about what to do with your money, what to do with this, what does everyone do? You're on a date, what do
mm-hmm,
girls do, right? Like what, and I'm like, or like what does your community think about what you're doing? Whatever, like all these questions. And it's like I don't know.
mm-hmm,
I can speak about my own experience.
mm,
I can speak to how I'm feeling right now. And I
mm-hmm.
think people want something a little more, and that can be very difficult for people to like.
Yeah, people want directions. They want
Yeah,
instructions. They want IKEA step by step
yeah,
instructions.
yeah.
Are you dating right
No.
now? Oh, okay. I thought maybe you have something interesting to tell me.
Mhm.
I think my dream last night was about dating. Yeah, it was in some ways related. I have very vivid dreams. I remember them very intensely. And I remember like long sequences of my dreams.
Mhm.
Um, and in my dream yesterday, I remember it was something to do with dating, but I'm also know that I'm married, or maybe, and I'm like, am I married? Am I married in right now? I don't remember. Am I not married? And then I like, it's about like dating and um like who do you date and how do you date and do you want I want to date.
Interesting.
I am married now. I'm not looking into dating. I don't think I'd want to be dating at the moment. If anyone, I'd want to be dating myself or my friends. Like if I had to go on dates now, it's with friends.
Yeah.
I am not interested in making myself sexy or attractive for the male gaze
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah. But that's so interesting. You had the dream it last night.
It might be, someone who has more insight into it wants to bring it in, that's fine. But I have a feeling it has to do with like, you know, I feel all my dreams have to do with anxiety in some way anyway. But
Yeah.
anxiety, but also like my relationship and my marriage is growing and changing every day, with more kids, more new house, new place of work. We are working through like my Joe, my husband has a very he's a what he does, he works in a hospital. He's a hospitalist. So he works basically, technically 7 days on, 7 days off. So he has a kind of an erratic schedule in that way. So maybe that's part of it. But this is me just
Yeah.
self-analyzing myself.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I think people don't talk about the hospital like lifestyle is really nuts.
It's nuts.
It's, I mean, even if it's 12-hour shifts, 4 days a week, or if it's the night shift or the 7 days on, 7 days off. Any way you slice it is crazy to me.
It's much calmer than it was before. Like as a resident, he was working way more. He's still working a lot of hours, and I'm going to give him the grace that even though we've had fights about this ourselves, but he does work a lot of hours, and it's very intense work in one sitting, right? He works technically 8 hours a day, but it's usually more, right?
Right.
His shift is usually 8 hours. It's usually at least 9, and it's very intense when you're on. It's not like going into an office and sitting there and waiting for an email to come or like chat. It's like when you're there, you're on, right? And takes a lot of recovery time when you come off of it.
Yeah.
But I know he's happy right now with what he's doing,
Yeah.
which is a big bonus.
Yeah. Can you want to talk about that a little bit more? Just being a spouse of somebody who works in a hospital?
I believe I call myself an honorary MD
Yes.
because I've been with Joe for now, we've been together for what? I can't remember, 14 years, I think, right? Yes, 14 years. We've been together, we've been married, I think, I don't remember, 8 or 9. We've got married in 2000, I guess it's going to be 9 this year. Yeah. Wow. And
What are you doing?
and when we started dating, Joe was a band director. So he used to teach band and music in middle school and high school. So he switched careers while we were together. So he became a doctor with me on the side. And let me tell you, my advice to anyone who is interested in being with a doctor is marry them after they're done with the residency. Not during med school, not during residency, once they start making real money and are less stressed in general. Because fuck, it's hard. It's hard to Joe doesn't like it when I say it, but for my his first year of residency, especially because he did surgery for his first year of residency, I call myself a single mother. I was basically like the only parent around. He was working 80 to 90 hours a week, like something crazy, barely was home. And it was very tough. It's very tough in relationships. So
Yeah.
either I say if you want to marry a doctor, wait till they're out of residency, or marry another doctor. Like, doctors have to marry doctors, or marry someone who does not, I don't know, have any other aspirations in life. I have no idea, but it's really tough being married to a doctor. And this is the first time after how many years he's been in the process? 8 years, the least. 8 years? No, technically he started with a year of, let's say 8. 8 years of like medical school and residency and blah blah blah. That it's calming down, that it feels more normal.
And now, like, just the working in the hospital is like the least of it for you.
For both of us, yeah.
Yeah.
Even for him, because he is able to, because he is able to disconnect a little bit. Not enough, in my opinion, but because supposedly the benefit of working with inpatient, like you leave your work at the hospital, work, right? You don't take it home, but it's not really that cut and dry.
And what, wow. I think it's interesting because what we do and who we are like impacts our relationships in such a fundamental way, and somehow like families of doctors, it's just like another. I have a friend who got married, and then our husband started going to medical school to become a specialized
Whatever.
specialty
So
3-year residency situation
and then fellowship, and then
and
fellowship.
fellowship. Um, yeah, and she was fully raising
And
kids.
probably working too.
Yeah, and working, and it's a very, very, very big strain. I think just like on a regular, like on a good day, relationships are hard. I don't know. Hats off, really.
Yeah. How many kids did she have in the process? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, for a while.
uh, I'm guessing it's she's religious or not
Yeah,
necessarily. Because
we'll have to bring her on the podcast.
that would be great. That would be great. I told you I already have a list of
I
difficult
know.
fish
I
people I
also
want
we,
to.
we both have a list.
Yeah, so I think I think we're ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so curious how the two people interviewing. I guess we'll see how it works.
Yeah.
I'm so curious like how it all. We don't know how any of this works. We're just
No,
figuring it
we
out.
don't. We're just and I think that's part of fun for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what's also fun about like being like an early adopter to things. It's like you don't know what you're getting
Are we
yourself
early
into.
adopters? Are we
What?
are we
Early
early
adopters of what?
adopters? I don't know
What?
what are we early adopting?
Of anything. Just like doing
Oh,
things.
in general.
If you're being difficult, then you're an early adopter of something. You're doing something different.
Well, I feel like podcast. I mean, that's where I'm feeling like, well, the podcast has been around for at least like 12 years. I mean, that doesn't feel like early adopter.
I mean,
At least 10 years.
yeah.
No?
But like 10 years is still a new industry.
I feel like in this, like, not to sound like an AI prompt,
It's
but
fine.
in this day and age, I don't feel like, like, think about technology 10 years ago and how
Yeah,
some
I
of it is
agree.
irrelevant.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares? So then not early. Now we're just getting like technical for no reason.
Okay,
Like,
fine.
like
But
we're zero.
I
Like
need to understand.
now you're being difficult for no reason. We'll have to find something else to like get you to be difficult about. But like whatever.
So much more.
I think it's also like I think this is what it is that I want to push back on because you're like, oh, like I'm not really that cool. Like everyone's doing it, but like everyone who you see is doing it, but so many people who you do not see are not doing it and would literally throw up and slit their wrists before they would get on a call like this.
Seriously?
Yes.
I guess so. I guess so. Yeah,
Like
no, you're right.
I forget that all the time. I post and I don't even think about it. And then I'm like, oh my God, all these people like can't even like post on their own personal Instagram that had 300 followers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I forget all the time. I need the reminder for myself. Because
I
like
think that
I feel like I'm behind. I feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like I'm not out there enough. And it's like,
you know what it is? I think that and this is something I guess it became a New Year resolution without expecting, but instead of waiting for perfection, I'm pushing for practicing on the go, practicing live basically. So like here's my anxiety about creating this podcast and producing it. We're sitting in our home offices with with bad lighting, bad sound. We have no professional, like, yeah. Oh, I love that. We have like no professional. It's not the best, sorry,
it's
whoever
not the
created this.
best. It's not my home office, so it's fine.
But like we have, and my sense of perfectionist was like, but it has to look like super high grade and it has to feel like super professional. But really, it does, and I have to know exactly what I need to talk about, so it makes it professional. But it doesn't. And I myself love tuning into to people content creations that are not fully perfection, and that's what makes them interesting. But I have to start. I've been working on that muscle much more.
Yeah, yeah.
Lately.
And I think, yeah, with this, you also pushed me because same. I'm just like, and then we're doing it and we're just going to do it. and we'll see like what we like about it. We'll see what we don't like about it. And I think
And maybe other people will tell us what they like about it or don't like about it.
hopefully, just compliments, guys. No negative feedback. The other thing that I was thinking about is, wait, yeah, about following the joy. I think that's something that, it's like, yeah, do what you love, never work a day in your life, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not even talking about in that way. I'm talking about like in a way, like what's fun about it and can you follow that thread? What's enjoyable? What's bringing joy? I think like not in so much, more like in an energy kind of way. Are you familiar with the human design?
Not sure I know what you're talking about.
Okay,
Go for
whatever.
it.
So we'll skip that.
Explain.
Whatever.
No, explain.
Oh, it's like a combination of like different personality types, but it's based on your birthday. And there's basically four types of people. There's like generators who like need like the energy to like, and then there's people who are like projectors, manifestors, and one other one.
Is that like I think I've done some stuff like that. They're just named differently. Like
Yeah.
is that the one with the EFE and NT whatever? No.
Yeah.
There's different names for it, but different like personality types kind of thing. Yeah.
So there's like, I mean, this is like stuff that I geeked out. I didn't really geek out about it, but like it was like big. When we were in high school, it was like the Enneagram.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
The other one, but this is not personality basis. It's based on your birthday.
Interesting. So it's
So
but it's
more
not astrology.
astrology
Oh.
related. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a little different. It's just another way. I think for some people have a really hard time like reading their chart, but this is a little more like whatever. It's just a different way of dealing with it. The reason why I said that is because I'm a generator, and I always thought that I spent a
can tell.
lot of time in my head, but in the past few years, just like getting out of that and like learning how to like get into the energy of it and like the vibes and like.
Wait, how do you define a generator?
Oh my God. I don't even know.
Yeah, look it up.
Generator, look at me. HD. Generators are the people who provide continual power and life force energy in the world. These are people with staying power. Oh, the life force of humanity consistently generating energy from what they love. To contrast, manifestors initiate action, projectors guide, reflectors mirror the energy around them.
Ooh. So okay.
Interesting.
And this is not something you decide for yourself. It's based on your birthday and like your birth chart kind of thing. Okay. So you are a generator. So what is like I know pros and cons is not the right way, but like what is the motivator for you and what's the opposite of motivator?
I think the motivator is, I think there's like a feeling like satisfaction. Also, like they tell you how you make decisions. I'm frustrated. Wait, I should know this. I'm like forgetting everything because I'm like so insecure about talking about this publicly.
No, read it. I would not. I never remember the specifics of things.
Yeah, the specifics about myself.
When was your birthday?
In May.
Are you a Aries? Or
No.
Taurus.
A Taurus. What about you?
I'm in January, so I'm on Capricorn. So we're both Earth signs.
Oh, that's why we get along.
I get along with Earth signs, but there's definitely. But I'm really attracted to air signs.
Yes.
I find myself like enchanted by them all the time.
So that's why you think I'm an Aries.
What?
That's why you think I'm an Aries.
Well, yeah, but you have a little fire to you. That's why, because Aries are very fiery.
Yeah.
Is Aries a fire sign or an air sign? I think it's an air.
Aries is air.
Anyway, air, right? Yeah, I want to say.
Give me a second. I'm gonna look this up because if we're googling, we're gonna Google.
Okay.
Aries is it fire?
It might be fire sign. You know who I have always have crushes on is Gemini's. Gemini women mostly. I'm like I
What
always have.
about it? What's curious to you
I
about
find
it?
myself like making friends with Gemini women. I guess they're enchanting, and I guess their flip floppiness and their like free spirit. I have a few friends who are Geminis, and but they're so except for my one friend, they're so unreliable, and it hurts my Capricorn soul too much.
Yeah.
It's so hard to make like plans with them and like think in the future or like get like a straight answer from Gemini
So
sometimes, and I guess
interesting.
that's why.
Yeah. But I think also like the way that it represents, because I'm a Gemini rising, so I like give off Gemini sometimes. And I think that was also very confusing for me because I'm such a Taurus. Like my sun and moon are both a Taurus, which is interesting. Pretty.
I don't know I just know I'm a
Oh,
Capricorn. I can make assumptions, but I have no idea what it is. I never like went into it too much. It's funny,
do we?
like I believe this shit, but I also don't believe this shit, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Like I do think that where you were born and how you were born and what time of the year makes a difference, and kind of like I see the pattern, and I guess maybe it's a what's it called, like a
Confirmation bias,
yes, exactly, confirmation
for
bias.
sure.
But I'm like, what's the harm in doing this?
Also, like speaking about like having conversations, like speaking about that versus speaking about other gossiping about other people. Like if we're just hanging out, like that's a better thing to talk about.
About other people? They're such a Gemini as opposed to how
No,
horrible
no,
they
no,
are.
no. Talking about our signs versus gossiping.
Okay. I feel like so this feels like a little bit of a Jewish thought brought into it in here, like
What do you
the
mean?
way you're saying it, because what you're making me think about is lashon hara,
Yeah.
and lashon hara is a very Jewish way of thinking about, right? Because as far as I understand, like so lashon hara means like no, don't talk about someone behind their back, but even don't talk to them about good things about people behind their back, right?
Yeah. Well, no,
Even
I
if I,
don't mind. I just think that when you're connecting with other people, I think the first thing that we do, the first thing that like we just do is we gossip when we connect. Some
that's
people.
really
It's like I feel like it's like a cultural thing. Um, but the people who I end up connecting with like more are the people who I don't gossip with immediately. But it's also like there's something. It's interesting because I don't know where I was going with this.
no, never mind. It doesn't matter. But I do want to add, like you said, like isn't that like poo poo to do and like from a Jewish perspective, like a religious perspective, like believe in
Okay.
other things that are not Jewish?
Mm,
I'm just curious about like,
yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely cultural like there's definitely what to people will definitely say like, oh, you can't talk about that kind of stuff. That will definitely it happens. I don't talk to those people about this,
right.
obviously. Um, but there is also I don't know if I want to say this. Like there are some comments that I might wanna like say about like a cultural there's like some cultural norms that are no, I don't wanna go
Okay.
there.
I
But
was
like
uh, I was like I was thinking you said you used to do this years ago. So was this when you were like a teenager or like early? Because you used to said there used to be a time that we all did it in school. So I was wondering if it was like teenager or
oh, you mean like the Enneagram stuff? Like I remember
yeah,
I remember
yeah,
we had a workshop about it, about the Enneagram when I
really.
was in like high school. And then when I was in Israel for the year, I remember everyone, there was a book and like everyone was like talking about it and like
So you feel like it was
diagnosing
sorry.
themselves. But I felt kind of out of it, to be honest. Like I didn't like that piece because it was just like very, and it was maybe because I didn't really know how to answer the questions for myself because I didn't know myself at the time. That's why like something like human design like helps me because it's just like more, it strips a lot of those behaviors out. Because a lot of like the other INFJ or whatever those other ones
Yeah.
are much more like behavior centered. Like, is this who you are? Is this your nature? Is this your nurture?
Right.
So that's hard. And I think when you're in high school, it's like even harder, especially if you don't feel like you have your people, your friends, or like you're out of it. So that was my experience.
And I think even more so when you're in high school, you're really trying to figure out who you are. And so you want these clear answers to who you
Yeah.
are and why you are the way you are. And like,
Yeah.
how do you fit in that way? And how do you
Yeah.
don't fit in that way? And maybe also I was wondering, maybe it was like a little bit an act of rebellion around, like with your peers against like where you come from. Like being so focused on Enneagrams and like things that are not rooted in Jewish thought and culture.
I think astrology is a bigger like problem, quote unquote, than the personality stuff. Um, I don't know. I don't know what the leadership thought about it, but it was pretty accepted. Yeah.
Okay. Just curious. I was trying to
Yeah.
create a story, I guess, that didn't exist.
That didn't exist. Yeah.
Or
There
maybe
are
we
other
can.
stories that exist that we can get
Yeah, I'm
into.
sure. I'm
But
sure.
I don't know if that's the road I want to go down as far as like,
No, we don't have to.
you
We don't have
know.
to. Just, yeah.
Yeah, I think words are important and the stories we tell are important and um I think I didn't take it as seriously when I was younger. Like especially it was interesting when I started my podcast, there was like parts of my story that I wanted to share publicly. And I'm really grateful that I didn't. I'm really grateful that it didn't come together because it's not how I want, not because it's not who I am, it's a big part of who I am, but I also want to be careful with words are very powerful. And I want to take it seriously. And you can't
I feel
unsay
like
things that you said.
I feel like this is the tension we're always going to carry here, honey. I always want to push you to say more, and you're like, no, I'm not going to go there.
Okay.
And that just makes me as a listener and also your friend like, but I want to know more. But you don't have to. But I
Yeah.
also respect the fact that
Thank you.
you're not ready to do that.
Thank
But
you.
like,
Well, yeah, I want to clarify something. If there's something that's my story that I feel comfortable to share, no problem. But if it's just like cultural norms, I don't want to
got
say
it.
like, I want thank you for saying that because it's like, oh, like, is this accepted? Is it not? Like, I also don't know. Like, in certain circles, it is accepted. In certain circles, it's not.
No, I guess I was always
You know what I
talking
mean?
from your.
And it's also like, so I'm happy to speak about my own experience, no problem. But when we start saying like, is it accepted? Is it not? Is this the cultural norm? Like, it depends where you're sitting, what Shabbat table you're at, what school, who your friends are. It's very, I think, what people don't realize, and I think this is an important thing, maybe that religious communities are very, and this is something that I'm happy to go. I know it's controversial. I'm happy to say it. Very culturally influenced, extremely. People like to say that halacha, which means the Jewish law, is what runs and guides the way that it comes together. From my experience and my opinion, is that Jewish communities are and halacha, Jewish law is driven by culture more than anything else.
And I think you're right because that's why halacha was written, like to respond to
Yes.
culture.
Yeah, yeah. So sometimes it gets a little too much, and so when you say like, is this like it depends where, like even within certain, it's like, oh, we don't do that here, or we do that here. So I'm sure that there will be a lot of people who would disagree. The things that I didn't want to say about the conversation was judgments that I have about the community that I didn't want to say.
Fair. No, that's
So
and I appreciate that correction from you because
yeah,
it's a good
like I'm
reminder
not trying
that
to hide
everything.
something. Yeah,
No, I know you're not hiding, but I think that it's
yeah,
important to remember, even for like that anything we think is a monolith is definitely not a monolith. Even when, from my perspective, like Jewish in Orthodox Jews
orthodox.
are not a monolith. Orthodoxim are not a monolith. And
Yeah.
also, nothing is a mono. Like everybody has varied experience, and
Yeah.
I think it's a good. Thank you for like pointing it out and making sure that
Yeah.
we keep that in top of mind.
I am.
Everything is a personal experience.
Yeah, yeah, I find myself like getting listen, like I'm culturally like working with people work now that don't know anything about my culture, and I don't know, like it's like what do they know, what do they not know, what's relevant to share, what's not relevant. One of my colleagues, he's like, when you get married, you're gonna have to cover your hair, and I'm like, will I though? But I'm not going to say no to Steven, you know. But it's just interesting. It's interesting. Um, and I think that's also maybe something that makes me difficult, and I'm happy for you to push back on it. And it's just like, tell me how it is. And it's like, listen, how it is. Like I'm 34 years old and I'm not married. Like that's not how it is. I have friends making bar mitzvahs now for their
That's
children.
insane. That's
No,
insane.
no, I'm not like I'm just saying like how
No, no,
is
it's
it?
insane to think
Like
that in that you're right in that.
yeah,
And
that's what everyone should be doing now. I'm not. Is it bad? Is it good? It is.
it just means that you're difficult-ish.
What?
It just means you're difficult-ish.
It just means like I'm difficult. Yeah. So I also it's like triggering for me when people ask in that specific way because it's like then I'm like wait, how do I? Uh, yeah, because I can think about whose house I was in, who I was talking to, if I was insecure, if I was trying to fit in, if I was standing in my power, like, and that's how these
That's
conversations, you know what I mean?
no, and I think that's a good way to be difficult-ish. Like not just letting people assume that things are just the way they are without
Yeah,
seeing the complexity and
yeah,
the love, you know, layers of
yeah,
different things that make things more full than they are. No, but
yeah,
no one is a flat character in a
yeah,
book, right?
yeah,
We're
yeah.
all main characters in some way.
And I think for specifically like in orthodoxy, like that's something that I struggled with, and I know a lot of other people struggled with it. It's like we try to find like make it more binary than it is. Like I'll just give you one more example. Yoga was like very unaccepted for many years, and then it slowly like creeped in different ways, and then it's like all of a sudden accepted. And as I'm saying it, like maybe it's not. Maybe in certain there are definitely places where it's not, but you know what's the source behind it? Da, 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 like, um, but a lot of these things change as the culture changes, and I think there's a lot of resistance to that. Just I had a whole fight with this guy, a lawyer, and I was like, halacha is Jewish law is culturally like influenced, and he's like, no, it's not. He's like, I'm like, that's how it works. But I think when we're in it, we're kind of in denial about it. We're like, what does halacha say? But it's like, no, what's your? And I think this is, by the way, a conversation that we need to have with Jewish women more because I don't think women realize how much culture impacts halacha. And we kind of like, oh, what's acceptable? And it's like, no, what's my experience and how can we change it so that we live better lives?
I love that. I love that. Let's be difficult that way.
Yeah, let's be difficult. And oh my God. Yeah.
I think I have a new sign off for us, or I'm thinking I'm going to coin a sign off for us. Are you ready?
Yes.
May you have a difficult-ish week.
Okay. Thank you. I don't like the stress. See you next
Uh,
time.
see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you, Mor.
Thank you.
It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
nice.